Hi there, welcome to another Solidworks tutorial. I'm going to be using Solidworks 2017. This tutorial is going to be on modeling a hook. So I pulled this spreadsheet from McMasterCard, so you can go to McMasterCard.com to find this. This tutorial is going to be on modeling a J hook. So we're going to use some sweeps and see how to use some sketches and things like this. So this hook would be used for any kind of specialty lifting application. So I think this is rated for overhead lifting. So if you wanted to design one of these for overhead lifting for a specialty situation you have, maybe at work or something like that. So this uses round bar steel. So you can see by the spec sheet it's for lifting, it's alloy steel. The capacity on this one will be 2,500 pounds. The opening width 4 inches and the usable length or reach will be 8.5 inches, and they're using 1-inch round bar. So there's some other stuff in here, some other information you might find useful. 400 degrees Fahrenheit maximum temperature. That's due to the steel. It'll actually lose its rigidity if you get a little hotter, and you have to derate the capacity if you're using something over 400 degrees. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to pull up my SolidWorks 2017 down here, and I just started it as a part. And what I like to do is I like to select the front plane, and then you can start a sketch. So you're ready to go. So what I'm going to do is start building this with construction lines, so we know where we're going. So then you can select the midpoint and hold Shift and select the origin and make them coincidental. So now you know where you're at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to our overall reach, which was 8.5 inches. So now we know where our reach is. So that's where the top of the circle is going to be in the J hook, and this is where the bottom of the circle is going to be in the J hook. So it's pretty simple. So what we're going to do is this is offset over here. So let's put another line over here maybe. We know where the top of it's going to be, so now you can make that, hold it Shift, make those tangent, so those are tangent right there, and then this one's going to be tangent as well. And let's go back to our dimensions here. This one's not called out. Oh yeah, there it is, 1 inch. Okay, so it's a 1 inch circle. So smart dimension, and we're going to make that 1 inch. Now that one's set. Now, we have another circle down here. This one's in line with it. So, we're going to make this tangent, hold Shift, or coincident, that's fine. And we know that this one is, judging by our drawing here, opening width is going to be 4 inches. So, this needs to be 4 inches. We're pretty close, 4 inches. Okay, let's make those construction lines as well. So this isn't quite right, is it? So let's look at our drawing here. So this is offset over here, and this is offset over here. So I set that up a little bit incorrectly. So this one does not need to be, there we go, coincident. We're going to delete that. So this needs to be over here. So that one needs to go too. So, easy to fix, right? Just going to delete that right there. So this one needs to be somewhere over here. So we need to do another construction line this way. And this one needs to be tangent here and tangent here. So that's kind of how it's going to look. And let's go back to it. We're using 1 inch bar, so everything needs to be offset in that direction. So let's fix that. And you can come over here and do an offset, wherever the heck it's at, offset. And this needs to be offset 0.5, half an inch this way. And we'll do it again, and it needs to be half an inch this way. So that's the width. So this one needs to go away. And we need to be tangent on this line. There we go. And same over here. Just double click, find it, delete it. Make that sucker team it. That didn't work. Here we go. Okay, so this one needs to be offset 1 inch. That is our minimum right there, and we're going to go that way up. And we're still going to make that construction. Same with this one, offset 1 inch this way. And make that construction again. So you can see how it's kind of forming. So it's going to go this way, right? Up to somewhere right around here. Should have a length there, doesn't it? Nope, no length. Okay. Okay, so let's start making this for real. So, let's make these construction lines as well. It's getting a little confusing with all the construction lines, but it'll make sense in a second. Alright, so let's start with our arc, 3-point arc. We're going to start right here. About there. And then we're going to make this straight, and you'll see why in a little bit. Alright, let's keep going. So this one's going to follow this, right? Somewhere right around there, and then it's going to go straight. And let's keep going. So start right where we are. So this one should swing around this way. Somewhere to the midpoint. Where's the midpoint come in? There it is, right there. And straight as well. And this comes straight up like that. And that is essentially what the hook's going to look like. Circles in the middle. So that is what it's probably going to look like. Something like that. So, now let's trim it all out. So you select the trim command, and we're going to trim all this stuff away that doesn't belong, and that, and that. And that. And this, and this, and this, and this, this. It's okay. We'll fix it. See? Okay, let's reset those dimensions real quick. We're going to do that one, do this one. Oh, now you're thinking, that's not right. Okay, where's my, oh, there it is. Meters, and then you can do max, 17.5. Alright, so now we're actually going to, I gotta trim that little piece there. And maybe I don't. Alright, now we're going to offset all these 1/2 inch. Just a 1 inch diameter. We're going to go, yes. Now, we're going to convert everything else to a construction line. So what you can do is you can hold shift and select them all. We only want one solid line being the center line. Get them all? I think so. So that's our first sketch. I know it doesn't make sense yet, but it will in a minute. When did I get that one? Yeah. It will in a minute, I promise. So that's our first sketch. Now we need to set a plane right here. So how to do that is you go to Features up here, and you're going to go to Reference Geometry, and we're going to select the plane. So this pops up, so it wants references. Where do you want this plane? So first plane we're going to pick is, I want this plane, the flat plane. And then it wants another reference, and we want it right there. And you click, and now it sets a plane right where you want it. So we're going to select that plane, we're going to go to Sketch, Start a Sketch. Now we need to build the base, or the diameter of the bar of the hook. So we're gonna start it right here, and we know that this needs to be 1 inch. So 1 inch. That should line up with the two reference lines on the other side of it, and that's all you're gonna do right there. So now you have your two sketches. You got your overall sketch, and you have the diameter of the bar sketch. So now you're gonna go to Features, and we're gonna do a Sweep Boss. So select that, and what it wants is this, as you can see in the little picture right here, the diameter of the bar, and then the overall profile. So that should make pretty good sense. So now it wants the path it's going to go. So all you got to do is select it, or you can select it from the tree, and you should be able to hit that. And I have intersecting pieces, I think. Where's it at? Let's go back into that first and see if we can fix it. So sketch, go back into it, and it should just be one. I must have a piece that's overlapping maybe, or something I didn't put into construction lines. So let's figure it out. It might be this right here. We can put a dimension there. Let's see. Go length dimension, put 0.25, see if it fixes it. Oh, there you go. That's fine. These need to go away. There we go. Okay. So that might have fixed it. See, when it comes back around, it's going to intersect, and I think that's what's throwing the loop there. Let's find out. Let's see any other issues. Let's see if that worked. So now let's go back to Sweep. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick, that is this, yes, and then this one will be this. Yep, there we go. So that is our hook. As you can see, it doesn't intersect, so we got to fix that. So let's go back in. That was sketch one. Let's go back in. We'll make that a little bit longer. Let's make it 3/8 of an inch. See if that fixes it. See what that looks like. Still a little bit too shallow. Let's make it 0.45. That should be right there. A little bit longer, huh? Alright, one more time. Oh, nope, so now it intersects, so that's too far. Let's go back in there. Make it 0.49. There we go. I think that's as close as we're going to get. So when they're manufacturing these hooks, they're going to weld them there anyway. So that should be fine. Okay, and then another little tidbit over here is this is your material section. So this thing does call out alloy steel. So to be more specific, you can go in, right-click, edit material, click that, and there's a list of steel should come up. And your company might have custom materials with certain things in there. So we know it's an alloy steel, so it's probably going to be one of these 41 series, something like that. Might be an 86 series if it's on there. Alloy steel. We just have a general marker for alloy steel, so we can apply, close, and it changes the color a little bit. So now, when you go up here and you use tools, and you can come down here and use. I'm used to this new 2017. I'm used to a little bit older one. But there used to be one here that would tell you like the weight and everything else like that. So that's not it. Yeah, no, that's not it. Anyway, it would be right here if it had it. It's gotta be here somewhere. Maybe it's under. Well, I don't see it. But there used to be a mass properties thing that would tell you the weight. Anyway, I don't see it. So it's usually under there. But there is your J-hook, and we can go ahead and make a drawing for it, because that's what you would submit to a fabricator. I'm going to save it first, so let's put it under master car J-hook. And then it wants to pick which kind of paper space you're going to have. So I like to pick landscape. So let's go ahead and hit OK. It's going to give you a generic one. I can put the part number in there and everything. You come over here to the little tab that looks like a drawing. You can dump these in. Something like that maybe. And you can adjust everything right here. So I like to do that. And let's put some dimensions on it here. So this should be 4 inches. Oops. I don't think it's going to be crap, but then I'll set it. Yeah, it is 4 inches. Okay. Then this is your reach. And you come over here and you hit liters, and you want the maximum. So that gives you the full amount of reach. So it gets from there to there is your reach. And then, what else do we have? What other dimensions are shown on here? It's going to use eye diameter and eye thickness, I guess. So I want this. So that's going to give you a radius, but you can go over here and change it to a diameter. And then the overall thickness we can put on this side here. It's going to be 1 inch, which it is. And then, alright, so for notes on this, you usually want a cut length, you usually want a weight, material, things like that. So let's go back into the model real fast. And how to adjust all that stuff is you go down to properties, and you can put document number, and that is whatever you want to call it. So we're going to call it Mick Hook. How about that? Because it's from McMaster Car. And then you can put in a description. And this is a J hook from McMaster Car. And you're going to say something like drawn by, and JEM is my initials. Then you're going to say drawn And today is 1/7/2018. Okay, and then we can go back into the drawing, and it should have updated it hopefully. And put it all doubled up, looks like. See if we can fix that real fast. Properties. Document. Well, I can show you another way. Watch. You go into this, and you right click over here, and you can say edit sheet format. So, no, not this one. I just want it on Hancock. Spell it right. And then that'll automatically update it. And we're going to put that up here. Let's make that a smaller font. How's that? Make that 20. Oh yeah, there you go. Much better. And then if you're in here, you can find the little, there you go. See, there's a little text box here already for you. Mine is JM. And this is today's date, which is 1/7/18. We'll put. Okay. And then you can fill this other stuff out. Material. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Should be another. There it is. Kind of have to find it. And this is going to be alloy steel. Stretch it out a little bit more so it fits. There we go. And finish. Let's see. Is there a finish coded on this? There's no coding, so we're going to say. You can find it. Plain steel. And then, if you require any kind of check by, engineering approval, manager approval, QA, any kind of comments you want to put here, this is for your rev dates. So if you change something, you would put put a revision there. And then what I like to do is you can do an insert and then annotation and note. So I like to put a note in here, notes. Material is, I think it just said alloy steel, right? Alloy steel. Cut length is approximately, let's find the cut length real fast. Let's go back to the model. And finding the cut length is pretty easy. So what you want to do is you just want to show this. So show. And then you click on these, hold shift, holding shift, and this will tell you what your cut length needs to be in order to manufacture this hook. So right here, total length, 20.17 inches. Now you want to probably add about 10 or 15% on there for a drop factor for when you're cutting it or when they're bending it. So that's a good rough estimate. So let's say 20.25 inches would probably be a good safe bet to put on for cut length. So approximate cut length, 20.250 inches. And what else are we going to say? It's alloy steel, so it needs to be heat treated. So we're probably going to say quench and temper to 30 to 34 Rockwell C. That's a good rough estimate on where it's going to be. You can find that in your machinist handbook to see what heat treat you need to be to find that strength for 2,500 pounds. I'm just guessing here. A little bit more footwork is going to be necessary in order to find that, but I have to design these all the time for work, so I know that's a good rough estimate. And then what else are we going to say? Tolerance will be Alt 0186 gives you, Alt 0177 gives you a plus or minus, sorry. And then tolerance will be rough. Usually I use a quarter of an inch, plus or minus a quarter of an inch is probably pretty good for a J-hook, especially when you're going to be bending these manually, or you're going to heat them and bend them, something along those lines. And that should be okay. And then we're going to have to put working load limit. What was it? Let's go to our drawing here. Our working load limit is our capacity, which is 2,500 pounds. So you want to put that on your drawing so that the end user is going to know all that. And then since this is for overhead lifting, we're going to have to proof test it, which means they pull it to twice the working load limit to make sure there's no deformation in the hook. So we're going to say proof load to what's 2,500 pounds times 2? It's 5,000 pounds. Okay, so those are your general notes you're going to put on there. This is your hook that we reverse engineered from our McMaster-Carr website. So that is going to be it. And then you can print this off. You can give this to any kind of vendor. We're going to say, hide all types because it's got that center line on there. We don't want that on there. But this will be something you can give to a vendor and they should be able to produce this. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.